Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch, and today I want to begin by giving a shout out to a couple friends of mine, Zohair and Joseph. They both topped the Minnesota Regional yesterday. Congratulations to both of them. Super proud of them. They did amazing jobs, and hopefully we might be able to get some deck profiles on the channel. Haven't talked to them about it yet, but we will see. But let's go ahead and get on into today's Market Watch. So we're, as always, starting with the best-selling of the week, not including QCRs and other high rarity cards. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Lordly Load is still holding around 55 to 60. Not super surprised, especially as we edge closer and closer to the Blue Eye Structure Deck release. This card is going to go up in value more and more. Molcharmi Meowls. This card was like 45 to 50. It's going up a tiny bit, not enough to really say it's spiking in price. I think it's weird. It's a good card. It's definitely a Molcharmi, but I don't know if it's necessarily better than Perulia. There are plenty of decks that special summon from the graveyard, not just the banishment. People are looking at this card as just basically Lancia copies 4, 5, and 6, but that's definitely not it. There's definitely a ton of decks that special summon from the graveyard and just loop things from the grave all the time. So if you can get this card, or if there's a format that has a lot of graveyard summoning, I think Meowls is going to be a good card. But I'm not sure I like the $53 price tag. Obviously, it's only been live for like a couple days, so the price may go down, but I'm not convinced about that. Primate Barrel Dragon, or Primate Dragon Ether Barrel. Gosh, it's such a weird name. I just keep calling it Barrel Dragon. This card has gone down a lot, and it's gone down a lot because, if you guys don't know, this did have a reversion errata. So basically, in the OCG, it was only during your standby phase. In the TCG, it was announced on the database as being both standby phases. But then, a few days before Supreme Darkness's official release, it got switched back to the original only during your standby phase. Because of that, I think this card has gone down a little bit in price. It's still a very good card. It's still holding $26 in ultra rare. But I think the longer we go, the more we're going to see this card dipping down in price. Fulos is 80, not super surprising. The Mitsurugi Ritual is a $26 ultra as well. Mitsurugi, as you guys can see, did actually top the regional yesterday, at least the Minneapolis regional. I don't know about how well it did at other regionals this weekend, but it did do well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more and more of this deck. Engraver's holding $80. It's surprising. I think this dropped down a little bit. This was holding like $100 for a while. Yeah, it was up for 100 and then dropped down to like 90, 97, but now it's going down to 80. I think it's either because people are predicting a reprint, or maybe people just don't want to play Fiendsmith anymore, so they're getting rid of them, having to undercut other people. White Rabbit and Underground still holding about the same price tag. Elzet Azanine of the White Forest is a $27-ish secret rare. I'm a little surprised with this. I thought this was going to be more. It might go up the more results we see. I don't think we had any good results. Let's go ahead and check here. Not that. Go back to the home and top archetypes. Have we been seeing any White Forest? There was one that top aided. Yeah, there's one that top aided the. I'm not even gonna top aided a regional yesterday, but it doesn't seem like it did too much else, so not super surprised about that. The Rise Eels is still holding their $25 to $30 price tag. Downwards Impulse is holding 55 up to 60. This is going up because Crystron can play this card, and with Supreme Darkness, it is a better card than it was after Crossover Breakers released. Abao Aku, $30. Honestly, I think that's fine. This is a pretty stable extra deck card, especially while Fiendsmith is around. But it's definitely not a card that is as playable in everything as we initially saw it. Sure, you can make a Nightmare, or you can make just a generic Link monster and go into this, but it's an interesting card. It's a powerful card for sure, but I'm not sure it's the best card you could be playing. Deception's 35, that's fine. It's about where it has been. Molcharmi Perulia is 40, officially the cheapest Molcharmi, which is crazy. I remember this card was like $80. I do. Dead in Prison is holding a $15 price tag. I don't know if that's just because there is nothing else in the set worth anything, or because it is an actually very good card and hero players are going to be using it, but whatever. Dominus Purge is 40, makes sense. Tenyi Spirit Sarugi. I did actually play against a Tenyi player Friday night. The deck does seem rather competent. It can do quite a lot. I just don't like the fact that you pay 4,000 life points to bring out Sasahara. That seems a bit excessive, but who knows? Maybe it doesn't matter. Elzette of the White Forest is 30. I'm surprised this hasn't gone up more, but it has gone up a lot compared to before. But yeah. Bystial Druisworm is holding a $20 price tag. I believe the Secret Rare is also holding like a $23 price tag. So these are cards that I think are definitely going to be reprinted, so you might want to get rid of these soon. Argo Stars. I actually did pull a Secret Rare Argo Star, and I do actually have an Ultra. I won a promo from a sneak peek. These cards are terrible. There's nothing to them. I don't know why this is a $6 secret. This should be a $1 secret, if anything. I don't understand it. But I guess people are coping on this deck really hard and are willing to buy it for $6. Who knows? Fiend's Track, $20, not surprising. Anything else on the second page? Ulcanex is still 10. I'm surprised I haven't seen more Fire King, but I guess the loss of OSS did hurt the deck quite a bit. Mitsurugi's a $7 card. Silahat's 15. Vidos did go up a bit. This hit like a $20 price tag when it was like a $10 card. So interesting. Maybe people are picking it up because the third wave of OCG support might be coming out soon, but I don't know too much about this. Dogmatic of Maximus is going up in value quite a bit. I believe that is because of... I think it's because of Mitsurugi. So... very interesting card. If you have the, I believe the secret rares for this card are going up like crazy. Yeah, the ultra rares from the tins are like $4, but the secrets from Rise of the Duels are like 30. So if you have some of these, maybe consider offloading them. All right, let's look at Supreme Darkness. Now we covered a lot of these cards here, but just in general, looking at Supreme Darkness, this set is pretty bad value-wise. And I'm not saying that because I want to. I'm saying it because it's it's a fact. There is not a single card at normal rarity, not including like the QCRs obviously, that are worth the value of a box. And unless like Meowls goes up and like crazy, or White Forest and like the Primite stuff just randomly becomes the best decks in the game, this is a pretty bad set. This is a Blazing Vortex style set where it's just there's almost nothing to it. There's not a lot of cards that are worth anything. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but my honest opinion is buy the singles, and at your locals, don't pick up this set. Pick up like Rhoda, pick up Info, pick up Bonanza if you can get it. Pick up whatever you can that isn't this set. That being said, there are some pretty reasonable stuff. Obviously, the Mitsurugi Ritual is a $30 card, but the Ritual Monster is only $5. Things like Poseidra being a $4 card is nice for Atlanteans. Mermails, the Speedroid stuff isn't too expensive. Almost all of the Tenyi stuff is pretty cheap. Clockwork Knight, which is really good for Christians, is only about $3 right now. So the set is good, it is impactful, but there's just not anything that's worth the value of the box, which is unfortunate. Now, in honor of Joe Fierro getting top 8 with Vanquish Soul, I'm going to be going over Vanquish Soul cards. It is impressive that this deck topped. It is a control deck in a format where you have Ryziel and you have Malice and everything like that, but this deck is pretty good, and it is actually fairly cheap. I mean, looking at this, like, Pantera is a $4 card, Caesar Vallis is a $10 card, Mad Love is a $10 card. These are, like, unfortunate, but you don't need playsets of these. You need playsets of Rosin, which is only about $1. You need playsets of Stake Your Soul, which is only $1. You want multiple Borgers, Xiaolong's only $1, or only about 50 cents, everything. This deck is probably only about a $50 to $100 deck at most, like not including staples. It's pretty cheap, and it topped a regional. Very, very surprising. Did want to look at Crystron because it also topped. So this deck was not as cope as I thought, and I did pick up the cards. Originally, when I heard Crystron was coming out, I was like, oh, Crystron without Helka Fibrax seems pretty cope. No, this deck is legit. Zach, I played Zach on Crystron, and I picked up some of the cards as well for it. This deck is legit. It is very strong. I can see where it goes. Where like I can see the potential it has, and I can also see that this deck has a lot of flexibility. It locks you out of machines from the extra deck, and like a couple other. It has like a couple locks, but it's for the rest of the turn, so you can do a lot with it. You could play like Fiendsmith and just do the Fiendsmith stuff. You could play like Kashtira and do all that stuff first. This is a pretty flexible deck, and apart from exactly Quarion Gandrax and Citri, the deck is pretty cheap. I mean, you need one Citri, one Quarion. You need three Sulfenir, but that's fine. Everything else is pennies, including the new stuff. I mean, this is definitely a deck that you could pick up and do well with. It got, what was it? I think second or like top four at the regional, the Minneapolis regional yesterday. And then as I think it got top four because I think Atlantean got second place, Atlantean Mermail. So I did want to go ahead and quickly look at these cards. Thankfully, with Bonanza, Neptibus is no longer expensive. You're looking at a couple bucks for heavy infantry and marksman, but that's fine. Dragoons is also cheap thanks to Bonanza, so that's not an issue. Poseidra, the new secret, is about a $3 card, but that's fine. I don't even know how many of this you play. And then looking at the Mermails, obviously, Abyss Gaios is still expensive. It's still $60 ultra rare. Abyss Pike is, a good few dollars. But that is, I think, everything else is relatively cheap. Yeah, like you don't play Abyss Dine. I don't think you play like any. I think you play Shadow Squad. You play Abyss Dias and maybe an Abyss Gaios, but a lot of the old Ultimate rares you don't play, and a lot of the new cards have like up to date printings. Or a lot of the cards you do play have new printing, so really the big money card is the Abyss Gaios. If you're willing to drop $60 on this, then you have a deck that you can probably pick up for, geez, I don't know, like maybe $50 for the rest of this deck. So this is probably like half the value of the deck. Obviously, you're going to want things like Dominus Impulse because it is a water deck, and you're going to want to play things like Perulia because it is a water, so you can pitch it and then grab it back and all that kind of stuff. But it is an interesting deck. It is a strong deck, and I won't shit on this deck anymore. I think that the new support does help a little bit. So that is today's Market Watch. I hope you guys did enjoy. I know it was a quick one, but there's not much to cover. This new set is not doing too much to the market, so it is what it is. But hope you guys did enjoy. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.